I no wan laugh today, abeg, because the matter why I carry come na very serious matter. Abeg, make una see as 483 billion naira don cause gbese inside the 10th assembly. This 483 billion naira was secured from the Nigerian Development Bank, approved by the 9th assembly to be shared among the 6 geopolitical zones in this country. Now they cause kasala now inside the 10th assembly. Make I no talk too much. Abeg, help me watch this video. Then I go come back. We go do some analysis on top this matter. I'm gonna watch.
Up to now, I swear to God, I'm not supposed to even do that. I've not seen the report. I'm a senator. I moved the motion because I have my reason. My people are shortchanged. This is a serious matter. 500 billion was distributed and the other geopolitical zones got only 11%. My own region got only 1%. It's not a laughing matter. It's a serious matter that needs to be addressed.
And what you are saying was an anomaly. But you see, on this issue today, the Senate President has already ruled on it. And when the matter is stepped down, it does not mean it cannot resurface. Since I've ruled on it, if you want to repeal, you must come with a substantive motion. This issue is rested.
It was the only report I have seen that all the members of that committee signed. So I'm surprised that we have not seen it, but he has signed it, and it's a document. It's a document. You will see it, and it's not interim document. It is a report, final report, and it has been adopted. It was debated here and passed and adopted.
So when you say you have submitted the report and you ambush people to submit the report only when those are interested are not there, he asked me to sign on to an interim report. I still repeat, I'm not a small boy. You should have given me the report. I have not seen the report.
As far as this order is, I feel my privilege is being infringed upon if this motion does not is not taken.
When I watch video, when I understand what happened for there, Senator Ale Ndume will be the chief whip of the 10th assembly. He carry this matter, come face this 10th assembly. Say, look, this morning we secured it in the 9th assembly, and it was supposed to be shared among the 6 geopolitical zones. But what happened? Say him never see the report. Say what did they give and make it sign as the committee, a member of the committee that was looking or that looked into this matter in the 9th assembly. Say what did they give and make it sign? Now interim document. He never see the real document. How was this money shared? As now here is that video. Southwest collect 47%. North Central collect 11%. South collect 17%. Southeast collect 9% inside this money. Northwest collect 5%, and then the Northeast they summer them 1%. And now why Senator Ale Ndume they provoke? He say why? What is the rationale behind the sharing of this money? Say how can his own region take only 1%? The sharing formula not be my problem. Normally, they suppose now they supposed to take share this one because I don't see the reason why Southwest go collect 47%. And inside the Southwest, the states where we say even need the money as in when they generate money where inside the Southwest. Now where? Now Lagos. The other ones are just Jara. So it will be kind enough to say, as when I hear inside that video, say the summer Lagos State 47% of this 483 billion naira. That will not be my problem. My problem is, as soon as I don't share this money, I beg, who they audit this money to make sure say they use them for the right purpose? Why they give them out? Who they audit all this money when they share? They give all these people because at the end of the day, now the political class inside that state go share them. The senators, House of Rep, and the governors, all of them put together, they go share the money at the detriment of the poor masses. Who they audit all this loan? Where would they collect? You see that argument now, it's another place. The committee has done their work. It has been adopted by the House. Don't take us back. And the Senate President, Godswell Akpabio, he stepped that demotion. He no one hear him. He said, look, we are not going to entertain this thing in my own 10th assembly. So, what are the issues that you will be attending in your 10th assembly as the Senate President? This morning now, where is they? Who chop am? Who collect am? What did they carry am do? Which capital project they carry am do inside their various states? See, Southeast collect 9%. What in Southeast use 9% of 483 billion naira do? Can they show us? Can they? Now today that they cry say they pursue them for Lagos. Without money that we will collect. We not fit develop seaport for una please. Seaport so that una go decongest Lagos, una people go come back. Una share the money. Use and do politics. Use and do election. Use and win election. It's all right. Who they audit all this money? Nobody don't answer all this question. Who they audit this money? There is no audit. No audit anywhere on top of this money where they share. They give these people at the detriment of 133 million poor Nigerians. And these are Nigerians where they live below the line of poverty. It's okay. Now, you get another matter where don't they fly all this way. I say I'm not going to talk about that because now matter where everybody knows say, now so it take happen, now true be this. So I not just want to waste my time talk about them. But today, I want to talk about that matter. Why? Because the ruling party don't take them personal. They don't they protest. EU, European Union, we come observe our elections, more especially the presidential election. Don't come up with their reports. They did not only write their reports, they also gave Nigeria recommendations on how to make our elections better. Ruling parties know they look at the recommendation. They feel like say, EU, they attack them. Una they hear me? Now why? They don't start to the protest up and down now. Oh, your mandate, we shall start. I don't just understand. Inside that same report, EU come out clear. Call out people where they say they spread fake news. They instigated violence. You understand? They played around ethnic and religious sentiments. EU called out those people. EU called out Festus Keyamo for spreading fake news. EU called out FFK for instigating ethnic violence. EU called out Bayo Onanuga for doing what? For instigating ethnic violence. All these things, if they inside that report. They not see all these ones to correct them and make our elections better. They say they won't go protest. But before I show on the video of that protest, where they protest now say, EU, leave our elections alone. Don't come and instigate violence. You are trying to trigger war. I beg. Make I show on the recommendations where EU make inside their observation. Number one. Their number one recommendation. EU talks say we need to protect the interest of the voters. Was the interest of the voters protected during the last election? Answer is no. Number two recommendation. EU say we should establish a framework that will guarantee the efficiency of our electoral process. Was our electoral process efficient during the last election? Answer is no. Number three recommendation. EU recommended that we protect the expression of the will of the voter and make their votes count. Did our votes count in the last election? Answer is no. Number four recommendation. The EU recommended that we should protect the freedom of expression and prosecute all forms of attack on the media. Was the media attacked during the last election? Answer is yes. Five recommendation. EU said Nigeria should ensure meaningful women representation in elective offices. Were our women ably represented in the last election for the elective offices? The answer is no. Number six recommendation. EU said we should address impunity for electoral offenses. Was there impunity perpetrated during the last election? The answer is yes. These are the recommendations. But the ruling party, they don't look at this recommendation. No? Their own is to come up and shout, whoa, protest up and down. Leave our this. You are instigating violence. I beg, make her not talk too much. Make una help me see this protest put together by supporters of the ruling party. In fact, let me make well and say, they are the members of the ruling party. I beg, help me watch this protest.
mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand.
Anna Lillian, I'm a patriotic Nigerian, patriotic in the real sense of it. As you can see, I have with me thousands of other patriotic Nigerians who have come specifically to raise concern about the presentation and of course the reports of the European Union concerning the just concluded election. We have come to register unequivocally that we are not satisfied with the report of the European Union. As a matter of fact, we are of the opinion that the report is not just ridiculous, but a deliberate act to slight the Nigerian entity, and of course, by implication, our leaders and the government of Nigeria. We are all Nigerians here. We're all here during the just concluded election. But before I proceed further, I would like to say to you very clearly, crystal clear, that there is no election in the world that is devoid of crisis and hitches. Every election in the world, both in the United States of America, both in the Great Britain, both in Ireland, and even the European Union countries, every election comes with their peculiar problems. Nigeria is not an exception. Yes, we are aware that the world is a global village. Therefore, people from different parts of the world converge in various countries during elections to monitor, observe, and of course, make presentations like the EU has done. But what we find unnecessary, what we find not worthy, is the manner in which the report was made, and of course the presentation was made. The election that was just concluded in Nigeria that produced one of the greatest men alive today, in the person of His Excellency, distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was one of the most transparent elections in the history of Nigeria. We were taken aback when the report came, and the media was awash with reports of the European Union carefully and specifically saying that the election was fraudulent, that the election fell short of the requirements of every credible election in the world. We don't know where that is coming from. If it is the election that we were all part of, that we all fought vigorously with our lives and everything that we have as patriots and well-meaning Nigerians to ensure that the election held, if it is the same election that the European Union spoke about, that we read about, then it means that something is fishy somewhere. You will also agree with me that the report of the European Union is enough to trigger a national problem. It's enough to trigger a national chaos. Our security is at stake. Our security of lives and property is at stake. Our sovereignty is at stake. Our unity is at stake. Nigeria is the greatest country in Africa, the most populated country in Africa, and of course the pride of the African continent. If the European Union is beginning to address our elections and of course whatever is daring, the way they have presented this report, then we are scared. We are scared that it's not just going to affect Nigeria as a country, it's going to affect the whole of the African continent. We are striving to grow. We want to be first and second world countries. We want to be emerging countries. And we cannot grow in the speed that we want to grow with the kind of reports that we are getting from the European Union. We are here to register our grievances. We are here to tell them that as a matter of urgency, they should withdraw their reports. And of course, come up with the report that will be favorable to Nigeria, the report of what they saw. How on earth can just less than 50 people from the European Union come to Nigeria to observe an election where you have over 176,000 polling units at election centers, and then they go to less than 1,000 polling units at election centers, and they draw conclusions. And I also want to send a clear signal to them. If there are people, if there are other Nigerians that they are using as scapegoats to send the wrong signal about our dear country, we want to tell them to desist from that immediately. Nigeria want to measure up with European Union countries. Nigeria want to be like the United States. Nigeria want to be like the Great Britain. Nigeria is striving seriously to be like every first and second world countries of the world. So we will not henceforth condone any false reports. We will not henceforth condone any manipulated reports against our dear country. It has happened in the past. What we are seeing is neo-colonialism in disguise, and we will not allow that. We want to be a sovereign country. We want to be an independent country, independent in the true sense of it. We have a constitution that guides us. We have the constitution that sets the tone, and the constitution is what we must work with and work by, not by any speculations and fabrications and rumors from the international community. We are saying enough is enough. We have a president that is doing very well. We have a president that has started on the right footing. We have the president that is doing what several presidents in Nigeria have not been able to do. All that we need at this point is to support him. He is our son. We are his children. He is our leader. We willingly voted for him. No man, no woman, no country compelled us to vote for him. It is our right to vote for the candidate of our choice, and that was exactly what we exhibited in the last election. Our election that we all witnessed was free to an extent, was free to a very large extent, almost 100% free. It was an election that was devoid of so many things that we used to witness in the past. Our democracy is growing at an accelerated rate, and we must want the international community to take cognizance of that. Instead of bringing out reports that they have fabricated, we will reject that and reject it vehemently. We want to let them know that never again, the third time, should they intrude in our national affair. We understand the role they play. Yes, that is not out of place. But again, there comes a time when we have to stop. They should know when to stop, and they should know when to continue. If there are no motives, why on earth should they take the reports of this election to the tribunal?
When I hear inside that place, that woman there, it talks the EU. Leave Nigeria alone. Say the recommendation where they give is not what it is, that they should give a favorable recommendation. Okay, favorable to who? Recommendation will be favorable to your own government. Okay, now on another will come out now, they say the whole world have seen our election and they know that it was well, this and that. Now EU is speaking. Una no one accepts EU own, but those people will come and tell us, say well done, una accept their own. You are telling us that no election in the world is devoid of crisis and all that. The one we expressed for here is not just crisis. Not just crisis. It was a war. Because Una, principal officer, will be Bola Ahmed Tinubu, gave you guys a mandate. He said, power is not given a la carte. Pursue it. Grab it. Anyhow, what justifies the end? I mean, the end justifies the means. That was how you put it. That the result at the end of the day is what matters. So pursue it, get it, grab it, anyhow. It is not given a la carte. And that was what you guys pursued. And this was what made our election, our electoral process, the last election, flawed. And EU is reporting, a reputable body that came to observe our election is reporting, and people are saying, you will not accept it, you are protesting and saying, your mandate shall start. Okay, they should give you a favorable report. All these things where they don't talk now, their recommendations, there are 6 key recommendations. Oh, now they even talk about them. And they say, why now? We cut is yet to decide on the outcome of the election. EU is coming out with such a report. So they should not report what they saw. Abi? It's all right. All of us here. The truth is gradually coming out. The truth is gradually coming out. And I thank God that the election, presidential election tribunal, all parties involved, they have closed their case. So it's for them to go and write their addresses. You understand? And come and defend their addresses. And then judgment will come. That is where we are now. All this is not really happen. Now distraction. When they hear me, we must get the Nigeria of our dream. This money when they share, they throw away. Nobody they audit them. 483 billion gone in the night assembly. Nobody. All what the Senate president could say is step it down, step it down. You don't even want to talk about them. Now this one have protesting. Oh yeah, mandate we shall start because of sincere report when EU will give. Call out who they want call out. Say, look, this is how election should be. When they think on your mandate we shall start protesting against EU. It is well. God will actually save this country. And that right time is now. Fellow Nigerians, I go see Una later. I beg. If you like this update, subscribe to my channel. I beg. Biko, Ejo, Da Allah. Subscribe.